What's going on? I'm Pride from Original Media for Gamers at OMFG.fm, and sitting way across the other side of the world is this guy.
Me! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. More specifically, ladies. I'm so alone. Alright, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, Pride, Jesse. We're on the same video this time, for once. Although, technically, it is not the world first, because we did do work together on that thing on TV's channel. Why TB got the rights to put that on his channel, I have no idea.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What
happened?
Back when we did the Scourge vent recordings or whatever.
Oh yeah. I was really the only decent voice actor in that.
Oh please! Thing. I killed my part as Sargeras. Sounds nothing like me, and there was like 15 hours of like processing on my voice, but that's okay because I am destroying all worlds right now.
How unprofessional that you would have your phone go off in the background. Unprofessional, sir.
Dude,
we are recording for YouTube. This is serious business. Unprofessional.
I'm sorry.
You and people who care about you need to cut it out.
That was actually my roommate who just quickly here. That was actually my roommate who is using my girlfriend as a way to get himself a girlfriend.
Blade.
Basically.
That's all I heard. That's all I heard. I summed it up for the listeners. Or viewers. I can't believe people are watching this, but there's nothing to see. It's only listening. How lame.
There is gonna be something to see. We're recording it now, audio-wise, but I'm gonna go back and add video. So, like...
What video?
We're in the
video are you gonna add?
I don't know. I'm gonna do like graphics and stuff.
Wow.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna put on loop the video of the kid breaking his leg.
You know what? Speaking of which, that's why we're here today. This is our BlizzCon wrap-up conversation.
Yes.
How exciting. This is not the infamous BlizzCon promised video. I have footage that I can show you guys that is not licensed to Blizzard because I recorded it myself. And a lot of it really has nothing to even do with BlizzCon, but it's very funny, and that'll be sometime later this week whenever I want to edit crap.
How drunk are you on this video?
The what?
How drunk are you on this video?
About half of it. I am very drunk. There's actually a really funny scene for those who love machinima. Myself, Brandon Dennis, a.k.a. Oxhorn, Clint Hackelman of Mindflame, and Ian Beckman of Beckman Studios or whatever. I don't even know what the hell he calls himself. He works at Machinima now. Yeah, right now it doesn't matter because he works for Machinima. But the four of us are on the Lanai deck in the Hilton smoking cigars. It's Ian's first time smoking anything, and it is quite funny. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You're going to destroy the poor guy's voice, and he's not going to be able to pull off Kael'thas anymore in Azeroth and Supervillains.
My voice was destroyed. I got there Thursday night. We went out, and I don't remember what the heck we were doing, but by Friday morning, my voice was gone, and it just got progressively worse as the weekend went on. You can hear it's like kind of still messed up, but man. And then the worst part is meeting new people. And for those of you who are unaware, though I'm sure everyone knows now, for the third in a row, baby, third freaking year in a row, the video I was in won the grand prize. Suck it, everybody else! And so what happened is, as I went to the party Friday night and into Saturday, all the people that I met were like, oh my god, you're the guy from the video that won. Do the gnome voice. And you can imagine not being able to talk, what the gnome voice sounds like. It seriously was like, it was awful, and I kept trying to do it because I didn't want to seem like one of those idiots who, like, won't do things for fans, right? I hate those people who are really famous and you ask them to do something like, oh, I'll only do that, on the set. Like, those people are assholes. So I wanted to put out for people, and I wanted to show them, yes, I can do this stuff.
Yes.
No.
Jesse, you will definitely put out for anyone.
I will. It is totally true. All right, let's get to the point of this.
Yes.
Enough rambling and BS.
Let's talk about BlizzCon. What are our thoughts on BlizzCon overall? Like, just the whole thing as one giant package of Blizzard goodness. How was it this year?
We have two differing views on this. I think. Well, maybe we have the same view, different perspectives. Because I went, and you did what?
I watched the internet stream this year. Last year I was there in person. This year I watched the stream on the internet just to see the difference. As I knew going into it that there wasn't going to be anything good this year. Like, I knew. Well, look, Cataclysm was already announced. They already had the trailer going in the freaking Dallas Cowboys game of all places because they really care. And then we had they aren't close enough to their new property to announce anything on that. StarCraft is already out, and Diablo 3. What are they going to do about Diablo 3? I knew that they weren't close enough to have a cinematic or anything for it, so I figured it was just going to be something random. I knew that this year, announcements-wise, there just wasn't going to be anything major. So I didn't bother wasting the money.
I gotta be honest, I go because it's more of a connection with people that I can kiss enough butts with, right?
You like, go there to kiss Chris Metzen's ass so that maybe he'll give you some.
No.
And let
Chris
you voice
Metzen and I'll let you know right now. While that would be very nice, Chris Metzen and I have a history, we'll say. And every time we've ever met, we've nearly been at, like, odds on stuff. And I don't know why, but the very first time I ever saw the guy was I was saying goodbye to a good friend who works at Blizzard, and I was very, very drunk at the time. Apologies to parents who are listening. As I burp right now, I may be drunk now. So I was saying goodbye to a friend, and, you know, when you're extremely intoxicated, we'll say, and you're not really aware of your surroundings. And so I grabbed my friend and was like, man, I'll see you next year. This was a blast. And I didn't realize he was talking to Chris Metzen at the time. And Chris Metzen is just death glaring me, right? Because how dare I interrupt this conversation? Now, honestly, it was totally rude. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But I think the way I came off was like, hold it up, man. I'm just talking to my friend here. And so he like gave me this death glare. This is back in 2007. I see him again at the 2008 one, and he doesn't even, like, he looks at me and walks the exact opposite direction. I was like, damn!
Are you serious?
So, yeah, but this year, he tried to avoid people as much as possible. I don't know why, but I think it's really weird. Ghostcrawler, Morhaime, I'm trying to think who else. A bunch at the Hilton on Saturday night. That's usually where all the Blizzard people go.
Yeah.
The last night. So if you want to rub elbows, that's the night to do it. And so I had 3 or 4 friends there who had never met these guys before in their lives, and they wanted to meet them. So I was like, come on, I'll introduce you to people. And so we're going around talking to, like, I was talking to the quality assurance guy. We're talking to all the different people there. And what happened is they were all really nice and really fun and really cool. And poor Ghostcrawler put up with so much BS from all these questions people were asking him. And Metzen is outside around the corner sitting on the ground with some other dude just smoking and hiding away from people. And I don't know, I love him because I can't hate the dude because of where he brought Warcraft and StarCraft, where he brought that from, but it seems like he's becoming too cool for school almost, and he's just like, look guys, I know y'all love me, but I'm gonna go do my own thing. And he's entitled to that, he totally is, but I think at these 3 or 4 days, he has to put out for the fans, right? Like,
yeah,
he can't. He talks a big game when he's on stage, but then he's just like, I'll see you guys. Give me your money. See you next year. And I don't know. That's how he just came off this year. And he wasn't like that before. Like, I remember him, except for when I was drunk and being an idiot around him, I remember him being very cordial and talking to people and being very nice. But this year, he just didn't come off that way. And he was the only person. That's why it stuck in my mind. Because everyone else was going around shaking hands like, thanks for coming, being really buddy-buddy, except for him. And that's why it stuck out, and I thought of it that way. And this goes back to the whole point of this BlizzCon, I think. When watching it live, right, when going to the opening ceremony, I don't know how this translated on as I'm licking my lips and whatnot. Let's just say, let me take a little sip of my drink here. Frothy. All right, anyway, so the whole... my opinion of this thing is essentially this. They blew their load the Sunday before. They released the trailer they should have released And when they got time for the opening ceremony, which is where they really pound you with something awesome, they had nothing. And it was the exact same kind of reaction. Now, I don't know what it sounded like on the live stream or on TV, but it had the same kind of crowd reaction when I was there that it did in 2008, when the only video they showed was the mage video, I think. I think that's what it was. The mage for Diablo 3. That was the only new thing, and the crowd was like, what? That is so lame. I hate to break it to Blizzard, but Diablo 3 is not the most anticipated title they have. They should have released something for Diablo 3 on the internet and saved the
or even Heart of the Swarm for StarCraft 2. Like, yes. Something else besides just Diablo. And a rehash of the World of Warcraft Kata cinematic.
Let me get to it. So, first it starts out with Morhaime comes out, and it's, pat yourself on the back time, which is fine. They do that every year. They come out, like, we sold this, and we did this, and it's a press event. We get it. You have to sell yourself to the press who's there. The audience understands. Everything's cool. Then, Metzen comes out, and we think we're going to get something really cool. But he begins with this thing about the word geek. Yeah. And how we are all geeks, and we need to understand. Yes. And he does. Now, at first, it was funny and clever. But 30 slides in, you're like, we get it. We understand. And the worst part is, I got in a conversation with one of the Blizzard employees. I'm going to leave his name out of it for the sake of anonymity. But myself, a guy from Machinima, leaving his name out too, we were having this conversation with this Blizzard employee. And he continually stated that he didn't see what was wrong with it. He thought the intro was great because the intro unified us, and it made everyone who's playing the game sort of come together. And I was like, come together? Why do we need to come together? This isn't 1984. This isn't Revenge of the Nerds. Like, there are no mythical jocks out there like, I hate you geeks, right? People who play games and the community we have in WoW infinitely understand their role, and they get that, you know what? We are kind of cool in our own way. Yeah. And the things that make up it, we get who we are. We don't need Chris Metzen to tell us and unite us. The first couple were fun, but you could tell eventually, and the crowd could tell immediately. Because if you listen to the sound on the recordings of it, I'm sure it'll pop up on YouTube eventually. But if you listen to the cheer at the beginning, right? Geek is, then it keeps going and going and going. But the last few, people could care less. Because what happened, and you could tell that it was just a time filler eventually. Yeah. Because what happened was, my favorite one is when he did the first Star Wars one. It was one of the red guys. I think it wasn't Luke Skywalker, but maybe it was like Porkins or one of the other guys. I can't remember. But one of the Star Wars things, and he's like, doing the Death Star run without your targeting computer on, stuff like that. Well, then 8 slides later, they do Star Wars again. Well, you already did Star. Why would you do that? Well, because we're just wasting time. Because why? We have nothing new to show you. That's what it was. Now, I'm fine with that, but at least don't waste our time. Like, let us go. People are like hankering to go play games at this point, and all they're doing is like just wasting time. And then they go, oh, by the way, who's ready for Diablo 3? People are like, yay! And they show us this video. And the video was cool, except all it was a hunter who, that's all. It was just or an Amazon, but just upgraded. And I don't know. It just didn't have the snap that some of the other videos had. Yeah. And then, at the very end, to add a little insult to injury, they said, we now want you to listen to this special thing we put together for the intro to Cataclysm. And I don't know what it sounded like on TV, but where I was sitting, and I didn't say a thing, because I was actually trying to listen to it to see if there was anything I was missing, right? To see if there was a reason behind this. So I was very quiet. Everyone in my row was quiet. But around me, people were just bitching. They were like, this is so stupid. Like, people were getting up and leaving, right? And they were going to go play games. And they were like, screw it. And I'm telling you, I think the opening ceremony was so lackluster this year. It set the tone. And the problem is that the closing ceremony, which I don't know if you saw that before Tenacious D came on, when the crowd who got no good video footage, who got nothing new, I'll be honest, the con this year, there was nothing new. Nothing. Except for the 2 Diablo 3 things, there was absolutely nothing of any note at this convention this year. And in fact, in a lot of the panels, it was, rather than give answers, it was them joking with us, which is fine, because some of their comments were hilarious. But
yes,
we got nothing.
I assume you're talking about the chick, because one of my favorite questions was the chick that came up and said I would like to have some heroic female characters that don't look like they just walked out of a Victoria's Secret catalog.
Yeah, and Metzen replied, well, what catalog would you like them to walk out of? Yeah, I mean, stuff like that is very funny. I mean, they did a really great job of being sort of, buddy-buddy, and I'll be honest, a lot of people were mad because, a lot of my friends at least, were mad because it seemed like they were deflecting a lot of the questions.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, WoW players, 99% of the questions asked at this year's BlizzCon were the most inane, stupid questions people have ever asked.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know if people who were asking the questions could hear it, but everyone in the crowd around you was snickering at almost every one of your questions, because you can only beg to have your Ret Pally be buffed so much, right? I mean, come on, let's be honest. So you're going to get snarky remarks from the devs. It's just going to happen.
I also got extremely tired. It was kind of funny the first, 3 times, but it seemed like every single panel, someone had to ask about the freaking moose that Ghostcrawler promised. And it was kind of humor. It was like, haha, yeah, I remember that. And then it eventually, by the last panel, it was like, really, again? It's the same answer every time at every panel. And I think it was asked by the same dude at every panel.
Maybe? I don't know. I gotta be honest, I didn't watch every panel in the audience. I was probably a game and watching it on the screens around the convention center for a lot of the panels, because a lot of them were really dumb. But there's one guy in he asked it in the lore panel, in the raid panel. For a lot of people who were watching it, it was some guy, really skinny dude, had like a scruffy beard, and he kept asking about the CLYSM. That was my friend, and I just said, I want you, every time you ask a question, because he asked really good questions. For those people who don't know, go back 3 years now. He's the guy who asked the question about the Sunwell and got Metzen to admit to the fact that the Sunwell was coming at the end of Burning Crusade. So he's really good. He asked the question this year.
He's kind of a big deal at BlizzCon.
He asked a question this year about Kol Tiras, if anyone is curious.
Oh, I remember this guy.
He asked the question about Kol Tiras because he is like a nerd for discovering secret things. He's like the Daily Show of Blizzard. Like, you know how the Daily Show, which for those of you who don't know, is this like comedy news program. But when politicians say something now, Daily Show will go back to 4 years ago and find a clip of them saying the exact opposite just to humiliate them. Well, my friend is like a brand version of that. He remembers stuff the BlizzCon developers say, the Blizzard developers say from months and years ago, and then brings it up in like gotcha moments. And so this year he got up there and he said, I have a question about Kol Tiras, and will it be in this expansion? And they basically beat around the bush, and eventually he said, it's coming, right? And so now my friend is like, well, I wonder if Deathwing will be there, one of those things. So I was like, just because he said it's coming doesn't mean it's coming recently or soon. So he kept saying every time he got up there, he'd go, yeah, I have a question about in the CLYSM, right? And so it's pretty funny, and we were cracking up in the audience, and the crowd was like snickering, because when you think about it, that's like a really dirty, like sounding. I'm telling you, everyone needs to call it the CLYSM from now on, because that is hilarious. But my point entirely about this whole thing, and we can get into like questions and details, but at the very end, before Tenacious D comes on, the COO, and I can't remember his name to save my life.
Sam's.
He comes out. There you go.
Sam's.
Sam's comes out and he says, "Oh, by the way, you're gonna get this new bait. You're all gonna see a special video for the brand new MMO." And the crowd loses it, because it wasn't like we felt like we deserved it, but I gotta be honest, I think that's what it was. We had put up with nothing all weekend. The reason you go to BlizzCon is to be the first to see something new, right?
Yeah.
And we thought, this is it. We waited all weekend. We're finally going to get something awesome. And they're like, yeah, get it? It's the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet
you totally marked out for that too.
Everyone in the crowd was like, boo, and it wasn't friendly boo. It was like angry, pissed off boo, and I don't know how it came across on the stream.
Oh, it came across. It came across.
But people,
loud and clear.
People were pissed. And then he's like, oh, by the way, you all get a beta. And the crowd loses it. And we're like, yeah, finally, something decent. We thought, like, Diablo 3, it's going to be great. That's all we got this year. Seriously, the goodie bag, my friend, the guy who does the CLYSM thing, in the recording video I'm going to put up, he has it's him unboxing the stuff. Literally, this is what the goodie bag had this year. A Deathwing, like, mini Deathwing figurine that is kind of cheesy. A demo for StarCraft 2, and an authenticator. Oh, and the the Murloc Deathwing thing. That's it. In years past, those bags have been filled with cool crap. This year you got 4 things. It was lame.
I still think that's better than last year's, though, to be honest with you.
Last year's was even lamer, and I thought they would have learned their lesson, because 2 years ago, my goodie bag had, like, a Lich King pen that when you click... Like, you were there for that. Or maybe not, I don't know.
No, I've only been to one BlizzCon. I've only been to 2009.
Oh, man. It was awesome. It was so cool. The pen, when you clicked it, and the little pen part came out, it glowed blue and, like, had a blue light on where you were writing. And they gave you all this free crap. You got, like, a Frostborn sword thing. It was awesome. It was all trash and totally useless. But it was so much fun. Now, I don't know. I think... the reason why they're doing it is so you won't sell it, but
people are going to sell it anyway.
Yeah, they're just not going to get enough money for it because a lot of it's garbage.
Yeah, well, like, I would totally mark out. I would totally mark out for the little Deathwing statue thing. Like, honestly, if you don't want it, Jesse, I will totally take that off your hands. You can keep. I
gotta be honest. My plan right now is to give the Deathwing statue, the demo, and something else I got that I bought there away to the listeners, the viewers of this channel. So that's going to happen eventually here, probably when I make my little video thing. So sorry, buddy.
Dude, I'm totally making another account because you have no idea what my address is. I'm totally winning this contest.
All right, we'll see.
I'm just saying.
We'll see what the rules are. But
okay. Rules are meant to be broken, Jesse.
Yeah, all right. But it started lame, and thank God for Tenacious D because they saved the crowd. But other than that, it was kind of okay-ish. It wasn't that great. And this is the year that confirmed for me, BlizzCon should be every 2 years. Having it every year is lame now because 2008 there really wasn't much new there. 2010 there really wasn't much new there. But I guarantee next year I have to go because they're going to have all sorts of cool stuff. I guarantee it. And they're going to have the new, or at least some view as to what the new expansion...
you know what it is, right? You know what it is. You know what the new IP is, right?
No, I have no clue.
Are you serious? I'll have to tell you what it is after the show. Because I do know what it is.
Ooh, how exciting! All right, yeah.
Obviously, I can't say that in public as I would get my ass fried. But I think.
All right, yeah.
I think you deserve to know.
I think I deserve to too. All right, so anyway, let's get to questions because that's our general view on this thing, right? Like,
yeah.
We agree. We agree that it was kind of lame this year.
We are completely and totally on par with each other on that. This year was not worth it, and they definitely. I mean, Chris Metzen in one of the exclusive DirecTV interview things that they did on the internet stream and whatnot. He said himself that he kind of pushed for them not to do one this year just because they knew they didn't have anything. And then he came up with this lame... Honestly, Chris, it was kind of lame. I'm just going to tell you, buddy. Your excuse as to why you went ahead and did it, he said, this is not a PR thing. This is for the fans. Well, your fans are extremely pissed off. Your fans are extremely pissed off right now, and they may have been a little angry, but not nearly as angry as wasting $150 plus hotel fees and airfare to come here and see nothing but Diablo 3 class. Although I am excited about the PvP, the Diablo 3, 5 vs 5 arena thing. I kind of marked out on that, to be honest with you. I'm actually excited about that.
Speaking of which, totally opposite. All right, two of my friends and I go to the Diablo 3 arena match, right?
Mm.
And we figure after playing all the different characters in the regular PvE version, that we have a strategy now. We're going to get 3 barbarians and just kill people left and right. Turns out 3 barbarians are totally useless. Because in PvP, barbarians, and this is the way they work this way in game, because there's so many enemies in the game, you never run out of energy. But in PvP, your energy, you don't start with any. So what happens is, the only ability you get is this really lame jump attack ability. And what happens is, if you miss, you don't get any energy. And the enemies that you're fighting either are the mage. In this case, they only gave you the mage, well, I guess wizard or warlock or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
The mage, the witch doctor, and the barbarian. That's only people you can play as. Well, the witch doctor and the mage can stun and move and warp and they have all their magic. And so what happened was, we played a group that had a barbarian, a mage, and a witch doctor, and they wrecked face. They beat us 13-1. Right? It was horrible. The fact that we won one game was unbelievable. From that point on, and the worst part was, you got 20 minutes to play a game. So after we lost 8-0 at one point, we're like, why don't we just get up and leave? This is so stupid. And we kept playing, getting beaten. And it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. And so we went to the comments, because they had comment booths set up, and every single one of us wrote, barbarians need to be fixed for arena. Like, there's nothing, you can do nothing. If you jump, while you're mid-jump to attack them, the wizard can freeze you mid-air, right? The witch doctor can grapple you, and then they launch all their attacks and kill you. And there's nothing you can do. It's completely stupid. And so after we were done getting our asses handed to us, we went over and talked to the guys, because we were fighting them. Like, I was yelling them, like, we're going to fight you right now. Like, let's go outside. Screw this game, right? we were just playing with them. We get up to go talk to them, and they started cracking up because they said, we decided to play 3 barbarian the very first time we tried this, and we got wrecked too. So basically, they had done because in PvE, barbarians, at least from the demos they have, barbarians are amazing and just destroy everybody. But if you do it in arena, they're useless. Totally useless. And so they were telling us, like, you guys got to come back and try this with mages and stuff. It was awful. We just didn't even want to touch it anymore. We were like, you know what? We're done with arena for now. I'll wait till I get a character in the game. So, yeah, it was pretty awful. But this year was fun, but it wasn't fun for Blizzard. It was fun for the fact that everyone there, like fans, had become such a close, like, bonded community that everyone sort of knows how to have a good time. And no one's really an asshole, and everyone's sort of a buddy. And people you don't know, always you can talk to them no matter what. Unless they speak another language. There were a lot of people from Korea here this year. It was amazing. I was like, whoa! But I guess that's because they win every single StarCraft tournament ever. But it was...
They heard there was $25,000 there.
I was cracking up. When they said when the guy came out at the end to announce the winners of all the things, the crowd is like every time he says, and winning the Warcraft 3 tournament, the crowd would go, the nation of Korea! I was like, oh man. The fans there are what make that thing. Yeah. So if you ever want to go, don't go with the expectation that Blizzard will always announce something awesome, because I gotta be honest, this year they let us down on that department. Still love Blizzard, still love all of my friends who work there, but I think they let us down a bit. But it was saved for the fact that there were a lot of great people there to talk to and a lot of fun things to do, and I think that's what saved it. But enough of my half-assed... So
basically, you had to make your own fun. Blizzard didn't provide it this year.
Abso-freaking-lutely. That's what I would take out of this, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, it is. I can relate to that, especially with last year, even when there was some major announcements and things like that. It was all about the people you were with. And I mean, I was with all the people that I've been working with on WoW Radio and whatnot. Granted, there was a whole bunch of useless and random drama that just annoyed the hell out of everyone. But just, we had to make our own, that's what we did. I mean, BlizzCon didn't stop when the doors closed. It was going out and partying. And I mean, hell, half the fun of BlizzCon is when BlizzCon isn't even going on. I mean, I was having fun the day I got there, which was 3 days before the convention even started.
Right. I mean, it's all about, really, for the majority of people, it's all about meeting the people you play with for the very first time and hanging out and really bonding with them. And when you go back, this is true to my very first time at BlizzCon. This is a long time ago. It was either the first or second one, where I met some people from my guild at the time, people who I'm really good friends with now. And, that kind of bonding is something that you really cherish, because you don't get a lot of that from a lot of people, especially over WoW.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of friends, but a majority of those friends don't play WoW, and that's something I like to do. And so they're like, God, you're such a nerd, stop it. Like, I can't. I like this game, sorry.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they go off and play Halo, and they're like, God, you're such a nerd. Now I'm gonna go kill these aliens, right? I don't know. It's just so weird. But yeah. We need to answer. We've been rambling. We need to answer questions, man. Let's do this thing.
All right. Finally, we're gonna get to some questions. Let's knock them out here. What was your favorite panel, Jesse? If you even have one.
Oh, every year it's the open Q&A, because it's the most train wreck awful thing on the planet. It's like watching everybody who has ever trolled the forums with like, why doesn't my ret paladin have more damage? They get the they can finally ask that.
Definitely.
And the devs just rip them apart. It's great. So that's the best one.
My favorite, as usual, when they have it. They didn't have it last year, but the quest and lore panel was my favorite. It was amazing just to see Chris Metzen just rip on people about stupid questions regarding lore. So I think that was definitely my favorite panel of all the panels. What was your favorite fan question, Jesse?
Favorite fan question.
And dev answer. Well, I guess dev answer can be part of the question, but it can either be, whichever side you want. Like, someone asked a dumb question, and so the dev, ripped them apart, or someone could make, a good question, and the devs were, stumped on it.
Some guy during the quest and... No, not quest. During the raid panel kept... it wasn't the question he asked. It was the fact that he would not relinquish the microphone. And so he kept talking. He'd ask a question, and they'd answer it. And then he'd ask another question, and they'd answer it. And the people behind him are like, hurry up! We don't have all day. And the devs are getting, really just, come on, next. He keeps asking. He must have asked 5 questions, and they were all stupid. And then he kept repeating himself, but that doesn't answer my question. Well, if they aren't answering it, it's because they don't want to, stupid. Move on. And he wouldn't give up. He kept asking. It was hilarious. I don't know why. It just made me laugh. That's really it.
I still think my favorite question was the chick who asked, can we have some female models that don't come out of a Victoria's Secret catalog, and the devs asking, well, which catalog would you prefer them walk out of?
The Fredericks of Hollywood catalog. Dun, dun. Look it up, kids.
Oh, what was the most shocking moment at BlizzCon this year?
Shocking moment?
Yes.
When they totally... I don't know what you would call it. Jersey rolled. It was like a Rick roll with Jersey. The very end, when they said that they were going to announce the big new MMO and then just slapped everyone in the face. That was kind of shocking.
World of Jersey Shorecraft?
Yeah.
I see. I guess shocking moment, I think it would be when the kid broke his leg and Jay Moore kind of puts the mic down and he's like, "Are you okay?" And then he brings the mic back up and gives him this because in the on the stream you can see Jay Moore's face, and he asks, he's like, "Are you serious?" And he doesn't believe the kid, and then of course he's like, he looks down and he looks and starts feeling the kid's leg, and he's like, "Holy, oh my, that's actually messed up really bad." And just his face, and it's he's smiling, and then he looks down, and the kid's like, "I broke my leg," and Jay Moore just he brings the mic back up real quick, and he's like, "Are you serious?" That to me was I don't know, I really enjoyed that particular moment.
I gotta be honest, for the crowd, it was kind of funny because no one in the crowd thought that he broke his leg. Everyone in the crowd assumed that he fell on his butt so much that he was just too embarrassed to go on. That's the way they assumed it. But whatever.
You know what happened with that kid, right?
No.
Like,
they did no one cared.
Yeah, no, they did a follow-up on him on WoW Insider. They actually like caught up with him, and apparently he has to.
Kidding me?
Yeah, he has to go home and he has to have surgery on his leg. He tore his ACL.
Well, that's what happened. You get for dancing like an undead Forsaken male. Way to go!
Oh, and Jay Moore. You can't kill him.
Yep, you can only make him stronger.
He's going Kanye in this. What was your favorite cosplay costume?
Oh, you know what? Because it had nothing... I gotta be honest. 100%. The chick who was Jaina Proudmoore was smoking hot as Jaina Proudmoore.
Yes, she was. And hold on, you're talking about the one who has the... It was Jaina Proudmoore with her pet rogue? Her pet troll rogue?
Oh, I don't even remember.
She was the one that she would have been walking around with a sheep.
Yes,
that one. Yes, dude. Gorgeous. I would do naughty
Gorgeous.
things. I would do naughty things.
Now,
that Jaina Proudmoore.
I didn't understand the costume contest this year because I thought that none of the costumes that won really stood out for me. If anything, the chick who dressed up like the witch doctor from Diablo 3 should have won something. She was great comparatively to the others. But I guess because the monk from Diablo 3 made her costume of all leather, that I guess she got it because she put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
But really...
And I did not at all like the Illidan costume. It looked nothing like Illidan at all.
I mean, it's just so weird. Like, a lot of the costumes this year, I guess they went technical rather than, like, over-the-top extravagant.
Yeah.
But, whatever. You know, who am I to judge? I would never, ever enter one of those, ever to save my life. Unless I had, like, robotic technology and showed up as a goblin shredder, and then I would shred the stage. You know what I would do? I would kill everyone in that band they had on the stage.
Oh god, that band was so bad.
Annoying.
So
annoying.
I mean, technically, like, their technical music ability, awesome, but they played the wrong music.
Yes, it wasn't very good. So, yeah, I would have shredded all of them in my Goblin Shredder costume. And then I would have, like, taken Jay Moore for a ride around, and he would have made witty comments as we killed people in the audience for sport. It would have been awesome.
My favorite costume wasn't even in the costume party thing or contest or whatever. Mine was actually this Asian chick who was dressed up as Nova.
You know what? I gotta be honest, maybe mine wasn't in the contest either. There were these two girls, I'm gonna say they were dressed up as schoolgirls who play WoW, but for some reason these two gorgeous women, and they must have... Now, admittedly, I sound dirty old man perv, but I think they were about, like, maybe 17. But they were gorgeous, dressed up as, like, the most slutty, like, I'm talking, like, dirty Asian cinema style schoolgirl outfits. It was very disturbing that I was way into that. But yeah, so they win hands down. Let's pretend they're in WoW for the moment. Yeah, that's cosplay. Wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely like the Asian Nova with the really awesome eyes. Alright, so that's all of our, like, normal questions that I kind of thought up of before all this. But I actually put up a video about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, perhaps. And I asked the fans to actually give us some questions and whatnot. I did not tell them that you were going to be on the show, because I didn't even know you were home yet. So, we'll see how it goes. I guess we can both try and answer these as best as possible. One guy, Mr. ChillTube, actually apparently doesn't realize that BlizzCon has already happened, because he asked me if I was going to be doing any interviews at BlizzCon this year. So, Mr. ChillTube, BlizzCon is over, and no. Last year, however, I did interview Richard Knack and Christy Golden, and I did get to talk to Chris Metzen quite a bit. Let's see. There's a lot of random stupid comments in here, so let's go find an actual. Who was the coolest person you saw there? Well, I didn't see anyone there, but obviously if I did, it would have been Jesse.
The coolest person I saw there was the hell's that dude's name? I'm trying to think of his real name, but whoever Ghostcrawler is, that guy?
Greg Street.
Like yes, thank you.
Dude, your technical knowledge is terrible.
I don't. That's because people who watch my videos realize that when it comes down to it, I really, truly don't care about all the nitty-gritty stuff. I just play to have fun, and I'm not like, I must know all the Like, I don't even know half my freaking spells in the game that I have on my character. I'm like, there's the one that shoots fire, there's the totem one. Yeah, so... But, Ghostcrawler really... He knows how to work it, and he really, truly... I don't know if it's because he's the only one at Blizzard who really has any major interaction with fans, but he really puts out when it comes to fans bugging him. Everyone else sort of ran for the hills, and he just was like, hey, you know what? I'll answer your question, even though it's completely stupid. And he worked the Hilton bar really well, and so he was probably about the coolest guy there.
Very nice, very nice. How did you meet Jesse? How did you meet yourself, Jesse?
Well, I was about 13, and I was taking a shower at the time, and was like, what is this? I was like, oh, hey there, little Jesse. Oh, wait, what are we talking about?
How you met yourself.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be it. You're going to probably have to edit that part, considering you were talking to Kyle on the chat there, and I just answered the question.
I was.
Yeah.
I was totally ignoring everything that you said. Awesome. Yep. Kyle McCarley, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is the guy who is recording this audio-wise, so kudos to him for staying up this late.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't do anything with Pride here. Because he doesn't acknowledge my hilarious, awkward comments. So, enough of you. Next question.
Do you remember how I met you? Do you remember how we met, Jesse? You probably don't.
Yes, it was at BlizzCon. That's
no, it wasn't. No, I knew you before BlizzCon.
Yeah, but we met in person at BlizzCon.
Okay, yeah, we met in person at BlizzCon, but how did we meet on the internets?
I don't know. I don't even care.
It was an old project that I'm actually kind of coming back to now with Lore for Noobs. But it was it was when we were gonna do, or I was going to do, what was it called? Hell, I don't even remember what it was called. It was Lore Crafted or something like that, which the name was totally taken, which annoyed me. But you were gonna be a voice actor in this machinima thing that I was doing.
I don't even remember.
And I had an ad up on like Mindflame or something, and I actually specifically put you on the list. I was like, I need some voice actors, and I put in parentheses, Jesse Cox, I'm talking to you, and then you sent me an email that said you rang.
I am pretty. That sounds like something awesome, like I do. That sounds like me. So yeah, but no, it doesn't ring a bell. So that's good to know. Good to know you remember something about me that I don't. It's like we're a married couple, and you remember our anniversary, and I don't even give a damn.
Dude, I'm actually very good at remember. Dude, I get so much like thank you, love, I guess we'll call it, since we're parental whatever. And you told me I can't, be me.
That's right. Yes, no being you. Be polite. There are children listening in.
Which is why you're 90% of all this, because if I had done this myself, it wouldn't have turned out nearly as family-oriented, if at all. Because I'm sitting here...
all right.
I'm sitting here drinking tequila and smoking a cigarette. That's my
Next question. Stop being drunk. Yeah, speaking of drinking.
I'm not even going to bother with who asked the questions. They can go look at the comments. Let's see, which was better, the standard bag or the VIP goodie bag?
Funny story, there's no such thing as a VIP goodie bag this year. Everyone got the same junk. Doesn't matter. How do I know? Because I was in the VIP line, so I know.
Did they release any info on Cataclysm that we non-beta players don't know about? No, not really. Here's the only thing. They
actually lied about stuff.
Yeah, they did. The only thing I can tell you that you wouldn't know in the beta is that Caligos is the new aspect of magic.
They also, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Sam. I don't know. Someone said that the all the new dungeons have graveyards right outside the portal, which, as it stands right now in beta, is total BS lie. The example he gave was the dead mines and how you have to run through the tunnel again, and that would be awful, so we're going to put it right outside. Incorrect. The graveyard is like 18 miles away, and you still have to run through the whole maze. So unless they plan on putting that in the future, what they said at that point was a lie. So gotcha, bitches. Right, next.
I've never been to BlizzCon. What do they do for most of the time at the event? They talk mostly.
Yeah, I mean, really, they set up Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, and World of Warcraft panels ranging from cinematics to questing to lore to whatever, and you can go to them and have fun and all that stuff.
Oh, that was the other kind of big thing they had. They had the Worgen cinematic thing,
right?
The bridging the level 5 area to the level 6 through 10 area.
Yeah, when you become a Worgen, like permanently, kind of thing. Yeah.
Which is actually really good. It was a really good cinematic, to be honest with you.
Yes, and the guys who ran that cinematic panel are actually the guys who are my really good friends there. I'm not going to say their names right now for this thing because go look them up. I don't want to name drop crap because that's kind of lame. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, well...
But,
yeah.
I don't want to be the name dropper.
Is it true Kato will cost more than $40? I'm getting the collector's edition, so mine is more than $40.
It'll be $49.99, something like that.
Really? Because wasn't Wrath $39.99? Something.
Maybe it's $39.99. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The taxes probably.
I get the normal one every year because I don't need the stupid pets. Yet for some reason I have to have the BlizzCon pet. Does that make any sense? No.
No. What was your biggest disappointment at BlizzCon? Everything.
No new content. Everything was old. Let me tell you an example of how there was no new content. Like I was saying, when you can go view the panels, but when the panels aren't going on, there's a lot of vendor booths and a lot of silly little contest things and photo opportunities and cool things that you can do, like there's a big wall that you can sign. But there's all sorts of things you can do. I mean, it's huge. But there are 4 halls. One is the main conference hall where they have the presentations. As I burp here, God, I'm really professional. And so one is the Diablo hall, one is the StarCraft hall, one is the Warcraft hall. World of Warcraft hall was like guild meetups and stuff, but basically in WoW, all it was is you could select a character to play, and it was basically you're playing the beta.
Yeah.
As I burp again. Terrific. So, and that was been there, done that. Diablo 3 hall was the new character, but essentially the exact same Diablo 3 they had last year, plus a new character and an arena thing, right? That was the only new stuff. The StarCraft 2 hall, since StarCraft 2 came out, what are they going to show you? So what they did is they created 5 new multiplayer maps that have been yet to be released that they're testing, that we were testing there. And it was Iron Chef, which is this really kind of lame, I mean, it's creative, and the time put into it's really impressive, but it's kind of lame. I'll be honest. You go around and you collect ingredients to make stuff, and whoever gets the most points wins, which is kind of silly.
I'm actually excited about Blizzard Dota, though.
That was pretty freaking awesome. That's what I was going to get. I was going to save that for last, ass. So, again, continuing with what I was doing. The next one was Star Jeweled, which is Bejeweled, but in StarCraft 2. And so what happens is every time you get a match, or you know how to play Bejeweled. Every time you get a match, it gives you points, and you use the points to buy troops, and it's sort of a tug of war situation where you have to destroy the enemy's base. That was kind of fun. I was with the guy who, myself and the 2 people we were playing against, were about 5,000 points at the end of each round. This guy was getting like 16 to 20,000. How is that possible? He is like a Bejeweled freak. It was some dude, because I was with 2 friends at the time, so we were playing them, and it's some dude I joined with, and he was like, it was amazing! And they have another one that's called Left to Die, and Left to Die is basically, if you've ever played StarCraft 2, there's a map in there where a colony's taken over, and by day you can destroy the hives, but at night you have to defend your base because all these zombies come and attack you. That's exactly what it is, except on a different map, and it's multiplayer. They had King of the Hill. King of the Hill was okay, not that great, but the true, and everyone knows what King of the Hill is, so I don't even need to explain. And then the true shining star was the Blizzard Official Dota. It was awesome. It was really cool, and I gotta be honest, it isn't as refined as those games that are out now that basically stole Dota and made it their own game.
League of Legends and Heroes of Newerth.
Absolutely. They aren't as refined as that because, let's be honest, those games stole the idea of Dota and are now making it their own, and that's all you can do in those games, which is okay. But these guys really put a lot into it and give the StarCraft 2 quality feel, so hopefully it just means that it'll be a better version of it as time goes on. It was really fun, so that's about it. I mean, there was nothing really new there. Once you did something once, there really wasn't a reason to go back, especially with Diablo 3, because really, why play Diablo 3 that much when you can't really get anything out of it? I don't know. Most of the time, it was the funny panels and trying to get free stuff from vendors, and that's about it.
Yeah. And the last question, can I have a spare beta key? No. Absolutely not. And when I say we, I mean me and Jesse, we didn't really have beta keys anyway. We've been in the... Jesse's Jesse. I've been in the beta since it started, like before Wave 1, that I was already there. Jesse, you can talk about it if you want to talk about when you started, but that's whatever.
Look, if it makes any sense, it was before beta. That's all I'm going to say. So... yeah, I didn't get a beta key.
Yeah, I didn't even have an active WoW account. I didn't have an active WoW account 6 months prior to the beta. There's like a list that Blizzard has, and I guess we are on that list. So so we don't have keys to give you because we don't have keys ourselves.
And there is no such thing as a beta key. I hate to break it to you. Beta keys are gone. You cannot sell them. You cannot trade them. You cannot give them to friends. It's your Blizzard Battle.net account, and they activate it on there. There is no key. You get activated or not activated. So we have no control over that.
I mean, the best we can do is send an email for you.
And that's going to get you nothing, except probably getting us banned from the list for the next
Seriously.
expansion. So no. Never gonna happen. I love you guys, but it's never gonna happen.
There you go. And is December 7th the confirmed release date? Yes, that's when it's coming out.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Tuesday, so yeah. Is that it? Are we
done?
That's
it. I think we're done. We're finally over with this. Let me refresh, and we'll see if there's maybe. Why are you working on videos at 2 in the morning? LMFAO?
I can explain that because as I stare here looking at my YouTube video file upload, there's still 40 freaking minutes left in this damn 38-minute video for you guys.
I'm gonna have this video done by the time your video is finished uploading, and then you're gonna have to wait another 3 hours for it to finish processing.
Screw you. Yeah, so... there's 39 minutes left in this video, and then I have to wait for, like you said, forever for this thing to process. But, which is funny, because if I say this now, it'll be like a preview of things to come, because you'll be listening to this before my video's out. But it's the video of Deep Home with Glov in it, the one that you've all been waiting for, so, yeah, get ready for that.
There you go. I guess thanks for joining myself and Jesse today, or tonight. For this random filler content in between waiting for the next Lore for Noobs video and the next Deep Home video.
That's exactly what this was, wasn't it?
This is me milking YouTube for everything that it is possibly worth before the 1st of November.
I want to point out, for the record, you and I just pulled our own BlizzCon 2010.
We totally did.
BS, and we didn't announce anything new, and this is a total waste of everybody's time, and it's just like BlizzCon this year. How ridiculous! We just got done hating on BlizzCon for not doing anything new, and it's exactly what we just did. Bravo! We are hip.